Welcome. Today's topic is quite amusing, and it took me a long time to research and collect all the info for the gods of Witcher, our own long forgotten gods. In order for you to understand the story, we need to start from the scrap. So sit down, relax, and I'll begin with the most intriguing story you ever heard about Witcher universe and how it merges with our own reality. So, what makes The Witcher 3 so special? Why is it considered one of the best games ever created? Is it just a game or is it something more? Why do I consider Witcher 3 for one of the best games ever, if not the best? And I'm not alone in it. Well, here are cliche answers about Witcher 3 that we already heard 1 million times. In short, best story ever, best graphics ever when it was released. Great open world, Gwent, Roach, irony, comedy, tragedy, full mix of emotions while you play the game, freedom. You don't play the game, you live the game. Extremely long game, great protagonist, great high fantasy world. It's done by the book, great acting and voice acting, and many, many more answers. Epic music, some really epic music. All of those answers are correct. Cliche now, but they're 100% correct. You combine all of those in one game and you get a masterpiece 10 out of 10 game. But there is something else, something more, something that bothered me for a freaking long time. Why do I feel connection, joy, and satisfaction in every minute that I spend with Witcher 3? All of those words I can describe with only one word: soul. Witcher 3 has the biggest, most beautiful soul ever. I thought that was the right word and reason that connected me to The Witcher, but even that is not the right answer. I'm thinking for 3, 4 straight years, maybe even more. What is it that made me play this game 7 times with 150 hours per playthrough on average? Even when I'm not playing it, I mention Witcher franchise at least once daily for 10 straight years. Every day. So what on earth is it then? Witcher 3 became golden standard to rate other games, in its genre or outside the genre. It's funny, I notice it's not only me who does this. So many people that watch my streams speak about Witcher 3 in a chat room. They start the topic on their own without me even mentioning Witcher. What the fuck is it? Is it some Slavic magic inscribed in the game, maybe? And yeah, my final conclusion was, it is. Witcher 3 is pure, uncorrupted Slavic magic, and it manages to hide it so brilliantly from players. The only culture and religion in the world that hasn't been corrupted by Western influence or that wasn't modernized by Eastern countries are Slavic people. Same people that made Witcher 3, same guy that wrote those books. You, my dear viewer, me, we're all connected with Witcher mythology. But was it mythology only? Or were the real gods of Witcher erased from our history? We're all indoctrinated by Witcher 3, or you wouldn't be searching and watching videos for Witcher 3 on YouTube now, would you? The game transfers that Slavic influence throughout the entire playthrough, and I feel historically connected to a bloody fantasy world. After all, I'm Slavic too. Let me give you some examples. Allow me to open your eyes and clarify your connection with the Witcher universe. The entire world is connected through Witcher, and even game doesn't know the real secrets it's hiding. The part in the game when Geralt is dead drunk with his fellow Witchers while they poke each other with hilarious quotes, I bloody lived that moment so many times with my friends. It feels familiar, it feels like something natural, something specific to Slavic people. We insult and poke each other every day with worst possible words and curses, and that's how we express appreciation of love, respect, and connection. I know it sounds strange in the 21st century, but it's really like that. Real life is a complete opposite in what you see in Hollywood crap movies that try so hard to change the real history and perspective of the world we live in. Mainstream media, movies, TV shows, Hollywood, all of them are trying really, really hard for decades now to change your perspective of the world. What's right and what's wrong, and how you should see the world through their perverted minds, lies, and manipulations. And then Geralt of Rivia happens and pisses straight into their mouths. Hilarious, complete opposite of everything they tried so hard to erase. And what's even more hilarious, people are on the side of Geralt now, and what he represents. In short, Witcher universe brings you closer to the real perspective of the world we live in. Even though it's a fantasy world, it's more real than bloody Hollywood and the brainwashing mainstream media. We, Slavic people, are also selfish. Like Geralt, who resolves problems for coin until a real problem occurs. Then there is no braver soul than a Slavic soul in this entire world, and there is no coin that can buy our pride. We do not sell our asses. There is no money in the world. And Geralt's pride and temper was shown multiple times in the times of need. When it's tough, he's there out of spite. We live from today till tomorrow, never planning the future, just like Geralt. Shit happens along the way, and we fix that shit along the way. We knock glasses 500 times while we drink for a single night while saying na zdrovje, živeli, tvoje zdrovje, which means cheers or for your health on different Slavic languages. Slavic people will understand these words far better than anyone else. You need to live in order to understand it. All of those things happen in Witcher 3. Do you think it's a coincidence? Trust me, it's not. What makes the game so special is direct connection to real life. Life that's slowly dying in this bullshit world of ours, corrupted by social media, propaganda, and fake TV news. Houses, cities, castles, and towns in Witcher 3 are copy-paste version of real-life houses and cities from Slavic countries. Even if there is so much death, pain, and suffering in Witcher 3, game is alive. It's fucking full of life, brimming with it. Even if Geralt doesn't express emotions from his mutations, you can feel it when he's angry or in the good mood. Geralt is an epitome of a man who lives free, unaffected by what others think of him. Kings of his time are politicians of our time, and he pisses straight in their faces. He's minding his own business, helping everyone along the way, sometimes for free, sometimes for coin, cause man gotta eat something, you know. He's Slavic to the bone, and the real gods of our earth, the only gods, are watching over him. We, in real life, invented and perverted 1,000 different religions and laws and forgot about the only gods that really existed. Traces of those gods can be found on tombstones that are far older than the ancient Egypt or Greece. That's why you feel connection and unselfish love to the Witcher franchise. It teaches you the biggest hidden secret in the world without you even knowing it. The first religion that has been long forgotten now. I mean, even runes for your weapons in the game carry the name of a long forgotten Slavic gods. Perun, Svarog, Vodon, Dashbog, Morana, Zoria, Devana. The real gods. Every other culture and religion just changed their names, and it was all depending on the region you live in, from Zeus, Mars, Amon-Ra to Thor and Odin. All of them are just copycats of Perun, Svarog, Vodon, Dashbog, Morana, Zoria, and Devana. You know those names on the runes you insert in your armor and weapons, do you? Triglav, Perun, Svarog. Funny thing, let me enlighten you about what you're actually putting in your weapon and armor sockets. We start with Triglav. Triglav rune. Triglav is the highest mountain in Slavic countries, part of Slovenia now, once part of ex-Yugoslavia. Ancient legends said that Zlatorog, goat with a golden horn, was eluding treasure hunters for centuries there. You think that a chance of stun is a pure coincidence on Triglav rune? Think again. Chernobog rune. Black God is the name translated on English, and of course that rune gives you attack power. Cherno doesn't have real translation in English. Imagine if there was a word that's darker color than the pure black. That's what Cherno is. Now let me tell you a interesting story about Cherno. Among us Slavic people there is a belief that it's common only to drink in feasts. We at the same time are blessing and cursing each other under the name of our saints and gods, saying how good things come from the good God and evil things come from evil one, Chernobog. We also use, even to this date in most Slavic language, a sentence on Chernobog that goes like this: Crn kao crna zemlja, or in a translation, black as Chern, more black earth. That means that someone is bigger evil than the Hitler himself. Chernobog is the equivalent to devil, but he is far older than the devil. Do you think it's a coincidence that Chernobog runes give you attack power? Next in line is Perun, the highest god of everything, all elements, creation, life and death itself, the creator of all, the creator of universe, mighty supreme to all other gods. That's why you get Earth rune inscription on it. Do you think that it's a coincidence that Geralt starts the game with only Perun rune, the creator of universe? Think about it. Zorya. Zorya rune. Zarya, Zora, Zarya, Zori, Zore, Zorja, Zaražnja zvezda, Zvezda Danica in all other Slavic languages. Or let me translate: guardians of the universe, two sisters, the morning stars and the evening stars. What happens during nights? During night, it gets colder, my friends. Hence, the rune of Zorya has a chance to freeze. Slavs were praying to Zorya each morning when the sun sets. She would open the doors to Dashbog and let the sun rays in. Zorya, or Zora, translated in English, means dawn. Dashbog. Dashbog, or in other Slavic languages, Daibog, Dabog, Dashbog, Zorya's father, god of sun and god of rain. Without sun and rain, there is no life on our planet. He is also god of the underworld, the creator of Slavic people, main god of Slavic people. From Dashbog came two different words used, for example, in some Slavic countries today, like Serbia or Czech Republic or Poland, doesn't matter. First one is Daj Bože, or Dače Bog, or Da Bog, translated help God, or God will make it happen, so everyone can understand. English language connects Dashbog to the devil, which is of course bullshit, but that's what history teaches young folks today, complete lies and utter garbage. Here's a fun fact also. Dashbog is also known in ancient Greece by the name of Helios, Greek god of the sun. Translation of Helios means Dabog. And what does Dashbog rune does? It has chance to burn. Is it a coincidence? In all ancient records, books and letters, most of them were destroyed or confiscated by Hitler in Poland and Serbia. Entire history was lost and burned. In those books and notes, Slavic people were called Dashbog's grandsons, which means they have direct heritage from Dashbog. Now you can also get the idea why the Ottoman Empire, entire Nazi army during World War I and II, and now modern countries want to destroy what's left of the entire Slavic history. Same history and culture that you people all around the world cherish while playing Witcher 3, by not even knowing you're cherishing Slavic gods and Slavic customs through a high fantasy game. The same thing you all praising is slowly dying in our world, real world. All that's going to remain from Slavic culture will be Witcher 3 in the end, if we continue on this path of Hollywood corruption and fake religions. The next god in line is Svarogrun, god of blacksmithing, father of Dashbog, god of celestial fire, known as Hephaestus or Helios in ancient Greece, and by many other names in different countries throughout centuries. Moon rune is his sign. So what Svarogrun stone gives to us? Imagine the coincidence. It's armor piercing for the god of blacksmithing. Vodon rune, god of war, Vodon, the same one that gives fury and resilience to Slavic people. He gives spite. God of war, god of anger. Irony is, Vodon's father is god of peace. Fury, rage, war. Sun rune is his sign. Morana runestone, goddess of winter and death. Pay attention on that part. Her complete opposite was the goddess Vesna, goddess of spring and life, goddess of nature. Vesna means nature, same trees, oceans, birds, epitomes of life that we're poisoning now. Morana runestone has a chance to poison for the goddess of death. Coincidence? That's 5th or 6th coincidence in a row now. Devana runestone, Slavic goddess of wilds and nature, mother of forests and protector of wildlife and animals. Her copycats are Roman goddess Diana and Greek god Artemis. Fun part now. Devana, or in other languages, Jevana, Devas, Jeva, Jevica, Devica, has 2 translations on English. On the mountain called Devica, there is inscription in stone of a wild mare, which was the symbol for Devana. First is Deva, for goddess, Deus word comes from it. But the real translation from Slavic for Devana is Virgo. What happens with Virgo? When she's not Virgo anymore, she bleeds, yeah? Hence, bleeding percentage on the rune of Devana. You think it's a coincidence again? Stribog rune, Stribog god, god of winds. Imagine the coincidence here. Chance to stagger. Stribog, Stržibog, Strijbog. He can control winds, lightning, hurricanes and storms. Many villages in Poland and Russia have inscribed Stribog signs in wood or stone. Another fun fact, we all know Antarctica is forbidden for the entire world to visit. Yeah? Well, on the same Antarctica we have Stribog mountain. All of these Slavic gods were once worshipped by today's Russia, Poland, Czech Republic, Romania, Serbia, all countries from ex-Yugoslavia and all other Slavic nations. Traces of those gods are left everywhere on our planet, in stones, wood, earth. Traces that are older than the ancient Rome, China, traces that go 10,000 to 20,000 years even before Christ. Traces that were erased and most scripts destroyed during World War I and World War II by Nazi army. They tried very hard to change the world history, but fortunately for us, they failed. So you see now, this is the strong connection that Witcher 3 builds on you. Slavic gods, Slavic customs, Slavic history, Slavic mentality, Slavic culture, Slavic spite, Slavic hospitality, and Slavic anger. Geralt is Slavic to the bone. And whether you people like it or not, Geralt is the best protagonist ever created in the gaming history. He represents everything that's good on this world. Music you hear in the background is Slavic to the bone also. That same music you all enjoy during your Witcher playthroughs. It's the music for your soul. It's pure, spirit-lifting music. That's the main connection that this game hides so cleverly from its players. You love something that you don't even know what it actually is. That's why Witcher 3 is a masterpiece. Think about it like this. Nilfgaard is a fantasy world presentation of an ex-Nazi army. The Wild Hunt represents all that's wrong and corrupted in the world. Ugly rich people that are trying to conquer us for centuries now in real life. Those would be banks, taxes, Satan's worshippers, all of them driven by only one thing, greed. Skellige represents countries in our world that just want to live free and be left alone by everyone else. Temeria and Redania represent some rich countries that get richer through wars while their nation is slowly dying. And in the middle of all of that bullshit, you got Geralt, presentation of Slavic people. He tries to survive, help those in need, make balance between countries in war, and save the world from the Wild Hunt. But Geralt is alone, Witchers are dying, greed and corruption spreads everywhere and consumes everything. Just like in real life. Millions of people are dying for few to get richer and even more powerful. You work to pay bills and eat. It's called taxes in Witcher 3 world. In ours, it's called bills, but it's the same shit. Just so that the greedy fucks who run the world get even more money in their pockets. Serbian scientist, and the greatest scientist in the world that ever existed, Nikola Tesla, invented free electricity for the world, but there is no profit in that now, yeah? And we pay for a thing that should be free. Just think about the world we're living in. Everything is about money and power. Tesla Tesla was probably killed. All of his notes and researches were confiscated, and now they're selling us the same thing that he invented for the entire world to make it better, free of charge, of course. If all of us were like Geralt, this world would be a far better place than it is now. This is the power, hidden message that Witcher 3 carries. It tests the player. It makes you realize what's right and what's wrong. It makes you think about your choices and the upcoming consequences. It makes you a better man. It opens your eyes without you even knowing that. The connection you feel with the game is actually your connection to the Slavic way of life. Slavic people are the first inhabitants of this world. I've seen tombstones with Perun's or Dashbog's initials that are more than 20,000 years old, with my own eyes. We forgot our real creators, and now we're punished with earthquakes, wars, greed, taxes, prisons, murders, wars, corruption. We live in a very corrupted world full of pain, greed, and anger. So we can only hope that one day we'll get a real-life version of Geralt to save us from ourselves. That won't happen, of course, but if you think how there is no greater force that made our entire universe, our planet, and all life on Earth, if you think how Judgment Day won't come for all of us one day, think again. I'll rather believe in Coca-Cola's Santa Claus commercials than the theories of evolution. All in all, I think you should all do your research on the true creators of our world. Search deep for Perun, Dashbog, Svarog. Search and discover the truth that was destroyed during World War I and World War II. Research, guys, do your homework. Geralt is there to show you the door. You're the one who needs to open it.